Hello and welcome to my channel. After almost 20 years of online flying, I'd like to share my experiences and approach with you. This isn't an installation tutorial, but rather a guide to how I plan, prepare, and successfully complete the flight online. If you need tips on getting your computer VATSIM ready, you can watch the tutorial Make MSFS 2024 ready for VATSIM on my channel. Communication is the most important thing in the online flying. It's not for nothing that it's also reflected in VATSIM's logo. If someone doesn't feel like communicating with others, they better keep flying offline. To ensure you're well prepared to connect to the network from the start, there are two essential tools available to everyone free of charge. That's VATSIM Radar and SimBrief. To keep your databases up to date, I recommend Navigraph. But let's go to the planning. This is where the most important tool comes into play, VATSIM Radar. The map provides an overview of the entire network and shows all controllers and pilots connected to the network. So, if you're not sure what kind of flight you want to do, this gives you the opportunity to decide whether you prefer to fly in tightly controlled or calm airspace. Of course, new controllers or pilots can log in at any time, but most of the time it works to get a picture. You can also check out what's going on at the events to find that the calendar. Many events take place weekly and are therefore well attended. If you like things to be busy, this is definitely the place for you. But be warned, there can be long wait times, as is seen in Dusseldorf shows. Not sure why the Eurowings is not able to start right now.
Tower, hello, Speaker 3, Delta Lima, holding in sequence, Lima 8.
But it's getting worse here, dudes. Once I know which flight I want to take, I create the flight plan on SimBrief. To ensure everything is entered as accurately as possible, it's also recommended to consider the ATs of the departure and arrival airports. This can be checked on the VATSIM radar if an active controller is online, because in addition to the connected controllers, you'll always find the current ATs. As I plan my flight from Munich to Zurich, I can now check the ATs in Munich and the ATs in Zurich. If you're traveling at uncontrolled airports, I recommend using the data given from SimBrief. It's important to note that the correct time is set here, as arrival and departure procedures can be different depending on the time of day. Here's my plan for today's flight from Zurich to Munich. We're operating for Swiss, flight number is 1111, departure airport is Munich, arrival airport is Zurich, and alternate airport is Frankfurt. Here our departure time, aircraft type A320neo, and important here to select the right departure runway and arrival runway as per ATIS. As already mentioned, we can now check here ATIS information Lima. So we have here parallel ILS approach runway 08 left and 08 right in use. So I already know 08 left and right are in use, which means I have to set one of them. Arrival in Zurich, we have information Bravo, departure runway 32, arrivals expect ILS approach runway 28. So I will set 28. Any changes will be done in flight. Once everything is entered, the flight plan can be generated. The cool thing about this is that this data can now be transferred to the flight management system of almost all aircraft in the cockpit. Before I start my flight in the simulator, I check the VATSIM radar again to find a clear position. I will now take here the stand 301 Bravo. Only then do I start the flight. Spawned at the gate, log in as quickly as possible to the VATSIM network with the call sign specified in the flight plan. In my case, it's a Swiss 118 Papa and the aircraft type is A320neo. After that, enter the flight plan itself. Without the flight plan, the controller won't give you permission, and you'll also be automatically disconnected from the network if you take off without the flight plan. You can use the flight plan you've already created in SimBrief for this. Most of it should then just be copy-paste work. We have now here on the right side a SimBrief and left the flight plan which we need to fill out for VATSIM. So let's start here with the call sign Swiss 118 Papa. Here the flight rules. Aircraft type A320neo. Weight category is medium, as you can see. Maximum takeoff weight 79,016 kilo. Then equipped with ILS, you can also add every other instruments your aircraft is using, but in my case that was always fine with the ILS. Departure airport, Munich. Off-block time, so the time when we want to push, it's 1855 UTC. Our altitude is at 220. Speed 290. Arrival is Zurich. Alternate airport, Frankfurt. And route time should be 52 minutes. And the fuel, I normally double it, so 2 hours. Then here the route. Here it's important to not add any SID or a star, so only the waypoints, because the instrumental departure route and the arrival route are depending the controller. As I do a flight for Swiss Virtual, I also add this here in the remarks. After that, I file the plan. Then you can see file plan filled and show your flight, which means the flight plan has successfully been submitted. With the submitted flight plan and the current ATs, we already have a lot of information that helps us anticipate what the controller will communicate. Before I request the flight clearance, I would like to explain to you what we can expect now. First topic will be to confirm the current ATs. It's very important to inform the controller on the first contact that you are using the actual ATs. Each ATIS has a letter behind the information which you need to communicate to the controller. In this case, Munich Information Mike. With this step, the controller knows that you are up to date with the local conditions. After this, the controller will confirm the actual ATIS. Then he will be telling you the standard instrumental departure route. Since you already specified the first waypoint in the flight plan, the SID will also be set accordingly. In rare cases, the controller may inform you that this waypoint is not available and suggest another one. For this flight, we can expect the Mercy departure out of runway 08, left or right, because the first waypoint is Mercy. After that, he will inform you about the initial climb altitude. That's the first altitude you must fly to and not the final cruising altitude in your flight plan. It's important to know the transition level. If an altitude is specified below the transition level, it is given in feet, so climb 5,000 or 6,000 feet. And above the transition level, it's referred to as flight level, so climb flight level 50 or 60. The difference is that the barometer is set below transition level according to ATIS and above transition level to the standard 1013. A mistake I often make. Tower, hello, this is Hotel Bravo Mike 8 Uniform request time for clearance to burn as filed.
Hotel Bravo Mike 8 Uniform, Tower information, Charlie current, runway 04, cleared to Bern, SOSAL 1 November departure, climb flight level 90 and score 1000.
Cleared to SOSAL 1 November departure at runway 04 and initial climb 9000, scores 1000, Hotel Bravo Mike 8 Uniform information, Charlie on board.
Hotel Bravo Mike 8 Uniform, confirm flight level 90.
Of course, confirmed flight level 90 for Hotel Bravo Mike 8 Uniform.
Hotel Bravo Mike 8 Uniform, read that correct?
I always do the same stupid mistake. The actual transition level, as per ATIS, is 60. Finally, you will receive your squawk. Here you will be assigned a 4-digit transponder code which you must enter that the controllers can identify you. You may also be informed of the current QNH, which you should already know. I expect now the following feedback. Swiss 118 Papa information mic correct. You are cleared for the Mercy, maybe for Quebec, or whatever he will telling me. A runway 08 left or right. Climb to 5,000 feet or the altitude he wants you to fly to, and squawk 1000 or an individual 4-digit number. I will now call to get my clearance. For that I need to contact now delivery on 121730. To avoid getting completely lost, I found the following graphic in the VATSIM forum. The first controller, or to make it more understandable, the lowest layer is delivery. It's the initial contact and responsible for flight clearance. The highest layer is area and center. Monitors and guides air traffic at higher flight levels. The lowest layer is not allowed to take over anything from the upper layer if no one is online. The top layer always takes over the lower layer if no one is online. If one of the upper layers is not online, communication runs over advisory, better known as Unicom, after the handover. The frequency is always 122.800. If no controller is online, everything runs over advisory. I recommend communicating via headset. Don't worry, only pilots within a certain radius can hear you, not everyone on the network. Otherwise, be sure to use the chat because communication is key to ensuring everyone on the network has a good time. Another additional tip, if you want to take off from a larger airfield and only the area center or radar approach controller is online, you may have to expect a very long wait to get out, as they handle all the layers themselves. In Frankfurt, I once waited 40 minutes for my takeoff clearance. Munich delivery, hello, this is Swiss 118 Papa with information mic, request FA clearance to Zurich.
Swiss 108 Papa München delivery, Servus, info mic correct, clear to Zurich, merci for echo departure. Flight plan route, climb via Seto, flight level 70, squawk 2327.
Cleared the Mercy for Echo, initial climb of 70, and the squawk is 2327, Swiss 118 Papa.
Swiss 118 Papa, repeat correct.
So as you can see, I checked now here the departure routes. Mercy for Echo is the departure route out of 08 right. After that you'll go through all the phases according to the checklist, and it's up to you how well you prepare yourself for the next section. I recommend following a checklist. To be as efficient as possible, I downloaded the checklist online and adapted it for myself. For example, I erased things like the APU fire and oxygen test from my checklist because they will always work in a simulator if not manipulated by myself. I think you get the point. Checklists can also really prevent many errors that can occur in the heat of aviation. To ensure maximum enjoyment and the most realistic processes possible, it makes sense for all pilots to use their lighting correctly during the relevant phases of flight. Before start checklist, fueling is completed, trucks, traffic cones are removed, APU is started, APU bleed is on, external power off, doors are closed, and beacon is on. When you're ready to leave the parking position, you need to get clearance for engine start and, if necessary, pushback. Delivery Swiss 118 Papa, we are now ready for push and start.
Swiss 118 Papa, startup approved for pushback, contact apron 121.930, bye.
Clear startup for Porsche 121930, Swiss 118 Papa, danke, tschüss. It also makes sense to check first your position, where you're facing actually, and which pushback you can expect, facing north, west, east or south. So I expect now the facing south, but yeah, could also be north, both possible. I will see now. I'll also check again the actual 80s, which has changed now to November. Shortly check if there are any changes in the QNH or runway, so all fine. Apron, hello, this is Swiss 118 Papa information. November, request clearance for pushback.
Swiss 118 Papa, München apron pushback approved, facing south.
Clear push face south, Swiss 118 Papa. So pushback clearance received, left clear, right clear. And then I would say let's go. And engine 2 start. Two is coming up. Let's go for 1. After start checklist, anti-ice check the APU bleed off, APU master off, pitch trim is checked, engine mode selector to normal. Spoilers armed, flaps 1, routed trim 0, flight control. Full up, full down, full left, full right, ruders, full left, full right, neutral. Ecom door page checked, all closed, ecom status checked, normal. Once you're ready to taxi, the controller will announce the taxiways to use. Always check the charts here so you know where to go. I expect here now Echo 3, Delta 3, then Echo 2, Sierra 8 to leave the apron. After that, Sierra or Tango 2, Bravo 2, Romeo 08 right. Swiss 118 Papa now ready to taxi.
Swiss 119 Papa, taxi to entry Sierra 7 via Echo 3, Delta 3, Whiskey 2.
Echo 3, Delta 3, Whiskey 2 to Sierra 7, Swiss 118 Papa. A bit different as expected. We have here then Whiskey 2 to Sierra 7 and not Sierra 8 via Echo 2, but should be clear now. So let's start the taxi. Taxi checklist, clearance on board, taxi light on, parking brakes is off. Auto brake to max, takeoff config is checked, no blue cabin checked, and proximity warning system is on.
Swiss 118 Papa, contact München ground 121, decimal 830, servus.
11830, Swiss 118 Papa, danke, tschüss. Ground, hello, Swiss 118 Papa with you, Sierra 7.
Swiss 118 Papa, hello, Sierra, Bravo 3, holding point 8 right.
Sierra, Bravo 3, holding point 8 right, Swiss 118 Papa.
Swiss 118 Papa, stand by on tower 120505, bye bye.
120,505, Swiss 118 Papa, danke, tschüss. For me, the funniest but also most intense part of the simulator is when I'm connected to the tower frequency. During these phases, I always recommend paying particular attention to what's being communicated around you. Since takeoff and landing are the most critical phases, a quick response to errors is crucial. Here's an example from a takeoff in Düsseldorf.
Wind check
Before
0303,
takeoff
5
checklist,
knots.
takeoff clearance obtain chrono on, TCAS TARA tilt above transponder mode. Charlie, external
Berlin Nova
lights
103
on.
Quebec, wind 0303, 5 knots, runway 05 right, clear for takeoff.
Clear takeoff 05 right, Swiss 103 Quebec.
Showing 7 kilo X-ray behind, departing Swiss Airbus A320, level runway 05 right behind.
Runway 05 right behind the departing Swiss, Euroing 7 kilos, right?
City line 99951, cross runway 05 right, contact ground 11605, bye bye.
Runway 05 right approved, apologize, ground 121-605, CT Air 99951.
Confirm we have crossing traffic on 05 right, Swiss 103 Quebec.
Oh, Swiss 103 Quebec, sorry, abort takeoff, once again, cancel takeoff clearance.
God damn. If the pilot who received permission to cross my runway had been paying attention, he would have intervened too, since it was clear that I was taking off on the same runway. Tower hello, Swiss 118 Papa with you, holding short Bravo 3, runway 08 right.
Swiss 118 Papa, Tower, good day, line up runway 08 right.
Line up and wait 08 right, Swiss 118 Papa. And before takeoff checklist, takeoff clearance obtain chrono on, TCAS TRA tilt above, and transponder Charlie, external lights on.
Swiss 118 Papa, the wind 060 degrees 4 knots, runway 08 right, cleared for takeoff.
Cleared to takeoff 08 right, Swiss 118 Papa.
Tim Cargo 26 Foxtrot, behind the next departing, line up runway 08 right, behind.
And the next departing, line up runway 08
Let's
right, behind.
go.
2 takeoff.
Knots checked. V1, rotate. Positive climb, gears up.
Swiss 118 Papa, contact München radar on 127.955, bye-bye.
127.955, Swiss 118 Papa, danke und tschüss. After takeoff checklist, external lights off. Spoiler disarmed, flaps 0. And per reference to standard. Land radar hello, Swiss 118 Papa, video at flight level 70.
Swiss 118 Papa, München radar hello identified. Proceed direct RAVET, climb to flight level 190.
Direct RAVET, flight level 190, Swiss 118 Papa.
Vielen Dank.
Once you're in flight, things usually become a bit more relaxed, and most of the instructions concern attitude, instructions to fly directly to a waypoint that's already in your flight plan, or hand over to the next controller. I also check the VATSIM radar from time to time to keep track.
Swiss 118 Papa, monitor Unicom 122.8, bye-bye.
Unicom 1228, Swiss 118 Papa, danke, tschüss. And if no further controller available, we need to switch to Unicom or advise you on 1228. Passing flight level 100, landing lights off and passenger sign off. I just checked the charts now. The holding would be here at Rabbit if necessary, but I don't think this will be necessary tonight as we have a calm flight. After that, Negra Natif to Amiki to enter the Amiki arrival. Usually we would do then the Amiki 2-8 transition. As you can see, that's the one I also have inserted. Will be right, left, and then back. Here I can see that's the arrival. But hopefully we can do a shortcut here to intercept ILS 28 directly without following the transition route. We are now requested from a Swiss Raider to contact him on 133050. As you can see, we are here, and normally the control zone is starting over here, so enough time now to switch to the frequency and make the handshake. Swiss Raider grid is Swiss 118 Papa with you, flight level 190.
Swiss 118 Papa, Swiss Radar, Grüezi identified, Negra 2 Alpha arrival.
Negra 2 Alpha arrival, Swiss 118 Papa. Before descending, check the ATs again to get the most important data, such as wind, QNH, transition level, and active runways. You don't have to remember what you already know when the controller tells you to. It is also important to take a look at the holdings on your approach, so that you know what to do if you are instructed to fly one. In this example, a Mickey holding. The instruction fly a holding over a waypoint as published means according to the charts. There you can see the direction and course you should fly. Hold at Amiki is published, Swiss 118 Papa. Otherwise, you will receive clear instruction on how to fly the holding, as in this example. Yeah, I guess this will turn into a long flight here.
Passing flight level.
Lufthansa 84, report ready to copy holding instruction.
Ready, Lufthansa 84.
Lufthansa 84, hold over Domux, inbound course 233, left turns, 2 minute lag time.
Hold over Domux, inbound course 233, left turns, and lag time 2 minutes, so Lufthansa 84.
Yep.
If you're flying in uncontrolled airspace, communication via advisory is very important, especially during descent. A look at the VATSIM radar can't hurt either. If possible, I also check the aircraft in the area and their destination, so I know who else is trying to land at my arrival airport. That's the arrival area already mentioned, and I also have configured the Rabbit Negra to Amiki. Now to check the ATIS. ATIS information echo. Approach runway 28, transition level 70, and the wind 360 at 4.
Swiss 118 Papa, descend to flight level 130.
Descent level 130, Swiss 118 Papa. Then temperature is at 12 at QNH 1018.
Swiss 118 Papa, reduce speed to 250 knots.
Reduce to 50 knots, Swiss 118 Papa.
Swiss 118 Papa, contact Zurich arrival 135.230, bye bye.
135.230, Swiss 118 Papa, danke, tschüss. As per ATCOC, we need to report the aircraft type on initial contact with Zurich arrival, which I will do now. Again, update the ATS information echo still current, so I switch over now to arrival. Arrival, hello, Swiss 118 Papa with information echo type A320 Neo video.
Swiss 118 Papa, arrival grid, continue present heading, vectoring for ILS approach runway 28.
Continuing present heading, expect vectoring for ILS 28, Swiss 118 Papa. Pre-descent checklist ATIS is on board, MCD config is checked, then the auto brake to medium, seatbelt signs to on, anti-ice check, transition Altitude is also checked at 70.
Question Swiss 118 Papa, descend to flight level 120, turn left heading to 10, vectoring wireless approach runway 28.
Down to flight level 120 left, heading to 10, vectoring ILS 28, Swiss 118 Papa.
Swiss 118 Papa, descend to flight level 70.
Descent level 70, Swiss 118 Papa. Approach checklist, external lights are on, seatbelt signs on, landing system is on, ECAM status checked, normal.
Swiss 118 Papa, descend to 6,000 feet, QNH 1018.
Down to 6,000 QNH 1018, Swiss 118 Papa.
Swiss 118 Papa, no speed restrictions.
No speed restrictions, Swiss 118 Papa.
Swiss 118 Papa, turn right heading to 40, descend to 5,000 feet, clear the ILS approach runway 28, report established.
Right 240 down to 5,000, will report on established 28, Swiss 118 Papa. Approach activated. And localizer live. When landing, it is important to know what the go-around route looks like, so you know where to go if fly, if necessary. Swiss 118 Papa, established ILS 28.
Swiss 118 Papa, you are number 2, continue approach.
Continue, Swiss 118 Papa.
Swiss 118 Papa, reduce to minimum approach speed.
Reduce to minimum, Swiss 118 Papa. And the landing checklist, Mr. Prod, altitude is set, spoilers armed, flaps as required, gears down, landing memo no blue. And I take the control now.
Swiss 118 Papa, after landing, vacate to the left side. Runway 16 is available for taxi. Winds 360 degrees 4 knots. Runway 28 clear to land.
Clear to land 28, will vacate to the left 16 available. Swiss 118 Papa.
Iberia 1 tracker, request taxi.
Iberia 1 for Echo, I'm closing. Monitor advisory 122.8, ciao.
122.8, message in Orbik, schon schönes Sonntag.
Ja.
50, 40, 30,
Das heißt, du gehst
20, 10.
False 22 Juliet, I'm closing. Monitor advisory 122.8, goodbye.
122.8, goodbye.
Hotel Sierra Alpha, next touch and go will be Unicom 122.8, ciao Martin.
122.8, message.
And all stations, arrival is closing, monitor Unicom 122.8, that's again, arrival is closing, 122.8, ciao Tanner.
Ciao, big Messi, Swiss 118 Papa.
Oh.
After landing checklist, chrono is stopped, transponder to standby, flaps retracted, spoilers retracted, landing lights off, nose light taxi, and APU started. After landing here too, it's important to have the charts. It's best to use the flight time to familiarize yourself with the arrival and the airfield. As no controller is online, I again need to switch to Unicom now on 122.8 till I reach the gate. Zero traffic, Swiss 118 Papa crossing runway 16, continuing via November to the gate.
Zero traffic, Iberia 1 tracker on Kilo, crossing 28 and then continue on Kilo to runway 32.
Just see the Edelweiss's taxi here, so I wait till he left the apron.
Zero traffic, Iberia 1 tracker behind, departing Eurowings A319, lining up and wait, runway 32.
And have your understand external power available, APU off, beacon off, and also external lights off. I can shut down also the engines now. And I would say this should be enough as a baseline for now. Feel free to let me know in the comments what your tips and tricks are for getting started in virtual aviation. If you enjoyed the video, I'd really appreciate a like, and for more content don't forget to subscribe. Thank you very much for watching. Just also can take a short look if my flight was successful. Aircraft landed with a vertical speed of minus 195 fpm, so I would say that was successful. I can now file my PIRAP and have another one in a row. Again, thanks a lot, have fun, and see you by the next one. Bye bye.